Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys a prompt you can go ahead and steal from us to help you basically use whatever knowledge you have to come up with a digital product. Now basically ChatGPT is going to help you come up with this digital product based on whatever knowledge it is that you have. Now you can go ahead and this prompt is extremely beginner friendly, by the way. It's something that you could just copy, paste, and hit enter, and you can copy it from the description of this video or the pinned comment depending on what YouTube allows us to do. But once you have it, all you have to do is basically copy, hit paste, hit enter, and then answer the intake questions, ideally as descriptively as possible, and then it'll help you actually come up with the product. So in this case, we can go ahead and paste it here in a standard chat. We can use a custom GPT, but on this channel, we typically use projects because we like the fact that it basically puts it into its own personal folder and keeps it nice and organized. Digital product, let's write that. And another thing is that it also has this memory option that we like. So it basically says that the memory stays confined to project only, keeping our ChatGPT memory hygiene nice and clean. That way it doesn't interfere with any of our other chats, and the memories from projects mode stay confined to project mode, and it doesn't interfere with anything else we have going on in ChatGPT. So we're going to go ahead and paste the prompt. So this is basically what it looks like. You are my knowledge to digital product builder. Your job is to turn what I know into a sellable digital product fast. Clear offer, clear deliverables, clear build plan, and a simple launch plan. And then it gives the rules, and if you scroll down, there's a lot more details as well as the intake questions that it will be covering. And, I mean, if you guys want to switch any of this up, you can, but as is, like I said, you can go ahead and simply copy, paste, hit enter, and it's pretty much good to go. It'll basically start immediately with the intake question, which, let's see what the first one is. What topic or skill do you know well enough to teach? Send 1 to 2 options. So you can go ahead and respond to this. And what I'm going to do now is respond to all of the intake questions back to back to back. And then I'm going to come back and go over them really quickly with you guys. That way we're not taking the entire video answering each one individually. So I will be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and answered the questions, but I made it as though I really had no idea what my skills are pretty much. And, I mean, obviously if you're coming into this, it's best to have an idea in place, at least somewhat of an idea of what your knowledge, sector would be, or something you might be interested in creating. So I just went ahead and tried to play it as dumb as possible, and with a very generic, very short answers, not a lot of detail. Obviously, like I said, it's best to give as much detail as possible to get the most out of this prompt, but I'm just doing this to see what it'll produce with virtually nothing, and just to show you guys the questions, and we'll see and take it from there. So as we see here, what topic or skill do you know well enough? Send 1 or 2 options. I just said NFL football and video games, very general. Then it asks, who is the buyer exactly? Include their level, beginner, immediate, beginner or intermediate. I just said not sure. That's okay. Then it says, what is their number 1 painful problem? Not sure. What result can you help them get in a realistic way? Knowledge or news on these topics? I said, what format do you want to sell? I said, not sure. How fast do you want to build it? I said 14 days. What proof can you mention truthfully? I just said none. And what should be included? Any must-have bullets or whatever? I just said not sure. And finally, what price range feels right? And I just said no idea. Where would you like to sell it? I said no idea. I'm doing this just to see what it'll produce for us if we don't give it a lot of information. Because, if you give it information for these types of things, obviously it'll build around your preferences, which is ideal. But let's just try it out and see what we get without that. So, let's see here. What audience do you have right now? I said none. And then any risk areas or claims to avoid? And I said no. And that was it for the intake questionnaire, so you get an idea of what it would look like. So then finally here we get assumptions it's used. It says buyer, beginner, or casual fans who want an easier way to follow NFL and gaming without getting overwhelmed. Core pain, too much scattered information, hard to know what matters. It basically tries to generalize an idea based off the information that we gave and what it can basically do for us to actually sell to somebody regarding this. So missing info, exact buyer niche, whether you want NFL only or gaming only or both, visual style brand, tone, and final price preference. So I built a clean version for you to launch. So offer and product blueprint, product concept, a beginner-friendly bundle that helps casual NFL and gaming fans stay informed in less time with a simple weekly catch-up system. So name options, basically basically helps us create, I guess, like a somewhat of a blog or newsletter. Best pick, the 15-minute fan brief, clear benefits, sounds simple, beginner friendly. Then it gives us a promise, stay up to date on NFL and gaming news with a simple system that helps you find what matters. Faster, so basically who is it for, then it says what it would be for, who is it not for, and then the deliverables of what we'd actually be giving, for instance a quick start PDF guide, weekly NFL catch-up template, basically weekly gaming catch-up template as well, 15-minute news workflow, prompt pack, and beginner glossary. And then optional bonuses, the pricing recommendations of $9 to $19, low risk for first-time buyers, and then it gives us a full build plan based on exactly what we're dealing with. Now, honestly, this is not a great product. It didn't really conceptualize what we were looking for, but had we given it more information, it would have been able to do that. So it is definitely best to come in with an idea and a knowledge in something that you can somewhat integrate into a product, because with this, it's obviously if you only have information on news and understanding of video games and NFL, I mean, you can't really do much more than some sort of like a newsletter or blog in this case. But for actual skills or knowledge that goes deeper into other areas, you can definitely do something where you could sell something else and it'll help you construct that. But this just gives you an idea of how it will do this. So as you see here, phase 4, sales kit asset, basically how you would construct this and show you exactly what would be inside, why this is useful, the FAQs, the CTA that you would use at the end of whatever it is you're doing, the hooks, promo titles, and scripts. I mean, if you wanted to go into content creation and be doing this, and then a email launch sequence of how you'd be emailing these people, or I mean your fans or whatever you have on your email list to basically try to sell them this. For instance, the real problem is not the lack of news, it is overload. It's basically trying to solve a problem, in this case, by helping, get people news in one place. So no hype, just a simpler system. Disclaimer block. This product is for info, because that's what we would be utilizing in our product itself as a disclaimer. And then the best next move. So build the 15-minute fan brief as a $9 launch bundle on Gumroad, focused on one clear result: helping beginners keep up with NFL and gaming news faster. So as you see here, it just basically took our knowledge and niche and created an idea that we can literally turn into a product, and then hopefully, if we had enough fans or enough people interested in our topic, to basically sell it to them. So it says here, I can turn this into an actual finished product. Files next, PDF, outline, template, text, prompt pack, and Gumroad product description. So you would just proceed with this at this point and continue. So this is just to give you guys an idea of something that's completely, this was just I gave it virtually no information, and it still was able to create us a somewhat decent product given what we gave it. If you give it more details, you're going to get a lot more out of the prompt. Be as descriptive as possible, describe whatever skills that you truly have or knowledge that you have, so that it can help you come up with the best possible product. Now, once again, it's extremely beginner friendly. All you have to do is copy the prompt, paste it into ChatGPT wherever you like in ChatGPT, hit enter, answer all of these questions the best that you can with as much detail as possible, and it'll help you actually launch and start your product. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.